Hello there, YouTube. This is Zookeeper Steve. Welcome you back to the fifth episode of our Let's Play in our franchise zoo. You might remember last time we had a very long episode where we redid our food court area, put in an iguana exhibit, and then we also redid our first main exhibit, added some ostriches, and put in an inside area for the animals inside that exhibit. Today we're going to be once again moving on with making a brand new exhibit instead of refurbishing old ones. I've been taking a look, peeking around our animals that are available to us, and I think the ones I'm going to go with are the African wild dogs, or as I know them, the painted dogs. I haven't seen a lot of those online of people doing this, and I got an idea for what I want to do with these animals. What I'm going to do for them exhibit-wise. You can see there's actually quite a few good ones. In fact, there's a really good one that we're not going to be able to afford at all because it's over 300 conservation bucks. But we're going to be able to put together a fairly nice little pack without much work or without much heartache in terms of cash. And we're going to be putting that in this area. And I'm actually going to try to step it up a little bit. What I'm going to do, to give you an overview here, I'm going to make a path coming off of our food court area that goes back towards this viewing for the warthogs and ostriches. And then we're going to be building a exhibit for the painted dogs, the wild dogs, that goes roughly in this area here as far as where the guests are going to view it. But I'm also going to include an inside area and a little zookeeper area sort of in here. And then we're going to put an off exhibit area for our wild dogs right here. Basically, we're going to have it so it looks like there's a second area that we can put the wild dogs in, and this is something that a lot of real zoo exhibits would have. If you needed to separate creatures that, like it was the wrong time of year and you couldn't have males together, or if you had someone that you needed to sort of quarantine a little bit. Do I have quarantine in the zoo? Yes, I do. So I'm going to do, or if you just needed to separate the genders or whatever for a time. So we're going to try to do a more zoo realistic exhibit that way. So we're going to put in that first path, build in the guest area for the wild dogs here. Sort of in this area on the other side of the path, we'll put in the zookeepers so that the guests can see it, but it'll still be distant enough that hopefully it won't interfere with any of the guest happiness, because we definitely don't want that to happen. And then we're going to have an off exhibit right up here, right next to the borders. I'm also going to start putting an actual wall along the borders there, because I don't feel comfortable having dangerous animals like the wild dogs running around loose, because if they get out of the zoo, they're free to kill everyone, it looks like. So let's go ahead and see if I can remember to put that wall in. But that's our plan for the day. So let's go ahead and just get to it now. So like I said, the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and change the pathways up a little bit. I'm going to make a path going from our drinks and our guest area. It's going to connect over here to where the warthogs are. So this will help guests that have gone in there. They don't have to walk back to the front of the zoo. They can continue on the natural pathway. Yeah, I'm just going to throw these lights down here. I really like how these lights look. I think the zoo looks really cool at night, so maybe I'll show you some of that. But we'll go ahead and build up this. How do I want to mark this pathway now? It looks a little wonky to me. These are the things I never consider when I'm just like in my head designing things before I start to build. I really should. Let's just go ahead and put in some of these fences like we did for there. Okay. And we'll move all these trees out of the way. And so what we want to consider first is we want our guests not to be having their eyes drawn away either from the warthog ostrich exhibit or from the tortoise exhibit. So we're going to just kind of put basic walls there. Let's get this out of the way. We're going to take that zookeeper hut that we kind of built for our iguana exhibit and make it the main zookeeper hut for our African wild dogs. I've unlocked so much African things. I have the... is there anything good here? I don't see like a signage just for them, of course. But I do have these cool like... what like they look like terracotta houses. I guess they're called mud houses. Or mud walls. I'm going to use that to kind of design the entrance here for the inside area of our wild dog exhibit, although that didn't look great. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Instead of trying to put the rounded thing in there, we're going to make it simple, and then we'll self-build for how we want this to be. And I'm trying to think here. I want to leave open areas because we want the wild dogs to be able to exit towards the guest and exit towards that other part of the exhibit. So let's go ahead and build our fence for the guest viewing area. And I'm just going to kind of drag it around like this, more or less along the path, but it's not going to be directly on there. And this, like I said, is going to be the inside area, or the area that the guest can view going into the inside area. So there's kind of a nice big loop like that. I don't want it to be too boxy or too formal. How do I want to do the guest viewing? For this, I might just leave the guest viewing kind of simple. And then we'll go ahead and put in just a chain link fence on our off exhibit area. Let's get this lined up all nice. In this area, I'm actually going to purposely make just kind of a simple square, just so it looks more utilitarian. And then we'll connect the fences up using these fences here that you can't see, using the natural fences. And just drag them into the walls, so it looks like the wall is the actual part of the exhibit. Okay, got that going. Very good. So let's go ahead now. That should be more than enough room for the wild dogs. Nice thing about doing the inside, outside, or on... I keep saying... I'm doing... What more words? Hard they are for me right now. So the nice thing about doing a larger exhibit that has both on guest viewing and off guest viewing, as well as a small inside area, is that even though it's not going to look like a huge exhibit, it's going to be a very large exhibit. It's just broken up into smaller things. But that has the advantage for these wild dogs. We actually kind of need a fairly large range. Okay, let's go ahead and put the gate in. And we're going to want this to be here. I thought briefly about building it into the inside building, but it tends to cause a lot of issues. So let's just make sure this isn't going to impact the guests negatively. Nope, it's not on the pathway. So that's perfect, the way I thought it would be. And now we just need to get an innkeeper path. A zookeeper path going more or less there. That doesn't quite line up perfectly. We'll have to fiddle with the gate a little bit to get that like that. Great. And just have it connect there. That's perfect. And I think I'll line these pathways just with these bushes here. It's a pretty simple little thing, but I think it's going to be sufficient to kind of make it look like we're obviously trying to keep the guest off the grass. Try to keep them out of the zookeeper area. I wish you could build like... I'll have to think about that later. Build like a faux gate. I probably have a sign somewhere that says zookeepers only. I hope I unlock that. I wanted to make it clear from the outside. But anyway, let's go ahead and transition this so it's not just kind of a generic keeper hut. We're going to make it look like it's part of this larger building by changing the walls to match. Like, oh, it's not lining up exactly. Oh, I should have put them on the same grid before I started setting things down, shouldn't I? Well, live and learn. Okay. So that was going to be the easiest way to do this. You know what, let's just go ahead and delete that. We'll go ahead and get on the grid with the inside building that we were building. And we'll put down the animal. Is that going to hit? No, it's perfect. Okay, good. Just outside the range. In fact, let's switch it down to a 1 meter and then I can get closer. Yes, that's how you cheat the system. Switch it to the 1 meter. Perfect. Now it's more or less in there. It might be a little bit off, but why does that wall look a little bit off? Huh. Train's flat. Yeah, I don't know why that wall's a little bit off. Okay. Oh well. It's close enough for government work. Let's just go ahead. Yeah, I'm just going to delete it. Put in a new one. There. Now it's perfect. Okay. And we'll get these going around here. And I want a little door area. Let's get these two set up. I'm gonna have to float this into there a little bit just to get them lined up perfectly, because the keeper house is not quite lined up. I'll pop this out a little bit because I'm going to put something fancy in the corner anyway. And now I'm going to see if I can cheat this. Can't quite cheat it onto the path, can I? Well. We'll figure it out. This is a game that really, really incentivizes small tweak, small tweak, small tweak, perfect. So that's what we're going to have to do to go about here. Loo. Building invisible fences. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to just have to delete all those fences out before I can move that. Oh, there it goes. So let me put it perfectly on the pathway like I want. Good. Great. Okay, now let's go back and fix those fences that we were deleting there. Whew. Okay. That, for a second there, I thought it was going to be like a delete this video and start fresh kind of problem. But nope, we got it done. That's the important part. Okay. Float this in here. Put a faux wall there. How do I want to cover the actual gate door? That's a good question. It is a very good question. I'm going to make it corrugated and just raise it up. I can have it sunk in a little bit, right? Yeah, I can sink it in a little bit by putting the base walls in. That works. No, it wasn't perfectly aesthetically pleasing. Let's go without the base walls. Let's, yeah, let's put these cement ones down. Because this is the area the guest won't see. So by doing that, I make it look like this is more functional than fancy. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, I want this area to be more functional than fancy. Uh-oh, we've trapped in some keepers, it looks like. Oh well, we'll fix them in the end. Okay, cement there. And then we got a door. And then everything they can see looks fine. You know what we could do then is, yeah, go ahead and make the inside here. Whoops, didn't want to do that. No, it doesn't let me do it. Blend it up perfectly. Okay. But that's fine. Just put cement there. Put one. Oh, that means it's going to poke out slightly. That's okay. I can just poke it out on both sides, and then it looks perfect. It looks planned then. Yeah, okay. That's the ticket. Alright, put a faux wall on the outside. There, perfect. Great. Okay. I can live with that. Let's go ahead and put a door on top of it. Because it'll look a little bit snazzier. What you're seeing right now is me trying to figure out how I want to handle the fact that we've got those two walls that stick out a little bit. I'm trying to decide if I can live with it. It actually doesn't look that bad, I don't think. I'll probably end up keeping it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do. So let's move on and tweak the paths here to get them working. Let's see, where are my viewing areas are going to be? Well, here's what I really should do. Let's delete these paths. And let me kind of line these up against where I think the viewing areas are going to be. Do I need to go fancy viewing areas here? You know what, this is going to be kind of a long build. I'm not going to worry about that here. We might go back and refancify the viewing areas later. But for now, let's just go ahead and make them sort of glass. If you want to do, or if you want to see my take on some more interesting viewing areas that are just a glass, back in the first zoo I was doing, the non-franchise zoo, I did a exhibit for spotted hyenas. And that's kind of the same concept, just dressing them up with rocks. But you can see here I'm just kind of matching the path up with the glass and then building the path around that so we can get that as perfectly as possible. Okay. And just fill in that area, continuing this pattern just so it looks like the zoo is all put together by one person. I kind of want to get that straight if we can, more or less. Okay, pretty good. Let's go ahead and, oh, I bought 3 males and 1 female. I actually think that's okay. Let me double check. Up to 27 males and 9 females. Okay, so there actually should be more males than females, so that works fine. I am going to go ahead and just, so we have some genetic diversity, throw in an extra female. So we'll end up buying 5 African wild dogs instead of the original 4 I was planning, but that's fine. They have plenty of room. Let's get you... Oh, it's a rainy day. Perfect. Great. Oh well, it's a good thing I put those lights in. It's a rainy day. Who goes to the zoo on a rainy day, really? I mean, none of the animals are going to be out. It's crazy. Okay. Hello, Kondo. Let's see what you need to be happy here. Another good thing about having this exhibit here is I'm just going to go ahead and paint the back, the off-site, or the off-guest exhibit area. I'm going to paint this all dirt because it doesn't need to be fancy, and it's going to take care of the dirt requirements, and then I can paint the viewing area as however I like it. I've got quite a few of their enrichment items already, so let's just go ahead and plop a few down to make them happy and get them some food and water, just so that they're not starving to death while we're still working on the exhibit. Your welfare's not 100%. That research complete, thank you. Let's see what else. Come on, son, it's hard to see right now. Yay! Come on, ostrich. Let's move you over to African wild dogs. Okay. And, okay. Wish there was like a, there probably is. There's probably some turn off the night-day cycle, so it's easier to see, but I don't know what that is. I'm going to go ahead now, and near the area we're doing as the off-viewing exhibit for our wild dogs, I'm going to go ahead and build up a little zookeeper area, which is going to let us, in the future, expand out this way and already have our infrastructure in place, so we don't need to worry about finding places to stick the infrastructure, which I will forget about if I don't. So I'll just go ahead and drop these 2 guys here. It's a vet station. It's a mechanic station. Just so let me do some more research. The thing that triggered it in my head was I was trying to shift the person over to researching wild dogs so we could get them more enrichment items, and it was having problems finding a place. I'll put it in a keeper area so that can be part of whatever exhibit we put in next. And now let's get back. I'm going to go and kind of in the middle build up this hill. And hopefully this is going to encourage the animals to do one of the 2 things. Either run around the hills, they're going through the areas that the guests can see, or go and lay down on top of the hill so they'll cut a majestic pose that everyone can see. And I think that's working pretty fine. I'm going to tweak, and smooth until I get this to the point that makes me real happy. Okay, it's just set all that as a work zone, and all those new people I purchased can be set to work zone 3. That way we have this taken care of. And then whenever we put in another exhibit, we can expand work zone 3 to that. And that way nobody's doing more. I don't want anybody working more than 2 exhibits. Alright, filling in this area, I'm just going to go ahead and throw down some of these rocks and plants that we had used previously. It looks like the whole entrance area is kind of one mind. And I'm putting these down sporadically. I don't want it to look over-cultivated. I'm trying to avoid that. But up against these walls, I'm going to put some elephant grass. I'm going to put that tight against the wall. Because I don't want guests looking that way. I want guests to kind of moving on and looking over. They should be coming up on the warthogs if they're following that path. So I want them looking there, being impressed and giving us money, because that is the name of the game at the end of the day. We want those donation boxes filled. Okay. Can I put a... Oh, I was looking for this earlier. Please don't feed. I wanted to put that by the tortoises because people can reach over that. Tortoises are on a very specialized diet. Let's go ahead and drop just a generic education sign along this path since there's not much for the guests to look at there. I don't want to get dinged for having bad education in my zoo. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and let time run a little bit so we can get to daytime and I can see better. Ah, here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo. Can't sing anymore. YouTube will ding me. Okay, let's go ahead and pause. Oh, I made that redder than I thought it was. Let's go back to that. Yeah. Yeah, I changed the color, but it was no bueno. So let me just go ahead and select all the ones that I turned way too red and turn them back to that terracotta color. Oopsie doopsie. Live and learn. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and put post here where I left those corners a little uneven. I'm just going to do that for the whole, like, inside area. I don't need one there. In fact, let's move the entrance. There we go. Where is the, like, thing that goes across the top? Does the thing that goes across the top not have that pattern? Oh, that's terrible. Don't like that. Oh, well, anyway, let's go ahead and hang it over this gap we left open. I want you free and independent so I can rotate you and float you in. And I know I'm going to have to use two of you, I'm aware. I just want this to look like an entrance. There's a pro tip I'll give you right now. If you're trying to do something like this, make sure you get these, anything that overhangs the doorway up to the very top of the roof, because if you don't, even if it looks like you can walk through, a lot of times the animals can get through, but the zookeepers can't. They'll think it's too low an overhang, and apparently they're incapable of ducking. So, 2 lessons to learn. Make sure you put the higher roofing as high as you can so that they can get through. Also, if they're doing a limbo contest, do it for money, because they suck at limbo, so you can make a mint. They're not going to be able to go low. Alright. And we've got this nice thatched roofing. I don't think I want to cover the whole thing with it, but I'm definitely going to use it somewhere in here. For now, though, I'm just going to go ahead and put down this mud roof. Do I want to overhang a little bit like that? No, I don't. I think there are ways I could use that, but it would be better just to angle and use it to fill in. Yeah, there we go. This game does a really good job if you're like floating something directly. Oh, yes, okay, that's an even better idea. This game does a really good job of, like, if you're floating something directly into the other thing, it can figure out pretty well how to blend them. So don't be afraid to do that. Great, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. And I'm going to put another faux wall there, just so guests can't look in and see what we're doing. Great. Great, great, great. So what do I want to do here? I kind of want to put just a couple of freestanding fences to give the illusion that this is like a pen area that we can lock them up to at night. So do that there. And let's go ahead and put these concrete tiles down so it looks like this is a floor. Let them just... Oop. Should have done this before I put the roof on. Note to self. Oh well, we're gonna get it filled in here, no problem. Alright, there we go. Put it... Yeah, I'm okay with that. Alright. Why does it think we've lots... Oh, we accidentally deleted our gate. Oopsie doopsie! Let's go ahead and put the gate back on so it doesn't think that we've accidentally released a pack of African wild dogs to munch on our friends and visitors. Okay, got the gate. Oh, it's because I was putting... Yeah. I should have learned this one from the last thing I did. What was the last thing I was doing? Was it the turtles that I was messing this up on? No, it was fixing the ostriches. Similar problem. If you put a new fence down too close to a gate, it deletes the gate. It turns it into a regular fence. So, 2 pro tips I can give you this game. Right, we'll just let time run a little bit so that it can register we're there. We're also going to re-add that to work zone 3. Perfect. All right. And since we bothered to put these guys in the work zone, I guess we should also connect their pathways so their zookeepers can get there and use these facilities too. It would be silly not to. Let's go ahead and drop the power generator here. Trying to get this all as far away from where we're going to eventually put the guest path as possible too. Because the guest path, I'm going to have like zig way hard right. Okay, I don't want guests looking directly into where the wild dogs are, so let's go ahead and see if we can fill in that area with something interesting. Oh, these giraffe statues are kind of cool. I mean, I don't have any giraffes in the zoo yet, but I kind of like them. And since this building's got kind of that faux African vibe going to it, they fit in fine. We'll just cover it up with elephant grass, so the guests can't directly see back there. little bit more. They can kind of peek, and I don't want them to. Okay, beautiful. Now let's go ahead and make it very clear that we don't want guests walking in here. So I'm going to put in a security camera, like so. And hopefully this will lower crime. I haven't had major crime problems in the zoo. Somebody graffitied the signage for our tortoises off camera. That was not fun. But we got it repaired, so let's go ahead and put another one of these. None of those quite match up. That's better. Oh, kind of like that. I do like that. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and put a door in. What kind of door do we want? It makes me rather upset that the doors do not perfectly line up with... Here, I'll show you. I'm going to slide this door, and you can see it doesn't quite line up with that hole. And I don't know why they did that. And I can't just put like a free-floating gate there, unfortunately. So, it's upsetting. Let's leave it at that. Okay, those look really good. So now I just kind of need a bar. I'm trying to make like a fake zookeeper only fence. Since these things are architecture, our zookeepers and caretakers and vets are going to be able to walk through them. I just want it to look like that guests can't get over there. And I think that's fair. I think there's that like simple bar there. It looks like something you could raise and lower real quick. So it doesn't actually stop anyone. We kind of rely on the honor system still. And I feel that's like where we should be with the zoo. So I'm going to use this door. Still doesn't quite line up, but because it's kind of got that fake faux rustic feel, I feel like that kind of matches better. Also, the orange matches the walls now, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's a good zookeepers only, please. Let's just get these bushes lined up. Yeah, okay. All nice and smooth, all painted with short grass. There's no grass poking through our pathways. Okay, I think we got that. Like I said, I want this pathway to have a huge turn there, so we're not going towards the zookeeper stuff. And now that we have that, you know what? Let's go ahead. Seeing it just that one spot starting to tweak me, so we're going to go ahead. I'm not going to do it for the whole building. I'm not going to do that to myself. But just the area that the guests can see. We'll put that trimming across the top. That thatched roof trimming. Okay. And it's kind of a long walkway, so let's go ahead and put a light here. And what would make this look right? Okay, some benches in the areas that aren't looking directly at the glass. Let's go ahead and also throw in a souvenir shop. Put in a souvenir shop so guests going this way can spend their money. And we'll dress it up so it looks like the building for the inside of the wild dogs. We'll use these guys. Just real simple. We're just going to wrap around it, throw a little thatched roof. Oh, a little awning here. That's kind of nice. Let's get you rotated the correct way, Mr. Awning. Yeah, I do kind of like that. Down like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. And this is a Justa. I believe it's called a Justa Thing store. Okay. Down some bushes, kind of decorate that area. Put the rest of the dogs in now. I think we're at that point where we can actually accept the animals into our exhibit. And this should increase the wellness factor. I think the problem with the wellness was they're a pack animal and they had no pack, which would make them very unhappy, obviously. Oh, we've kind of changed that. Note to self, if you're going to change the topography, do that first. Because if you raise or lower the ground turns to whatever the default is, in this case, tall grass. So that's something to watch out for. Okay, let's get our signage in here. And I'm not going to put these as a on a stand. Why is somebody opening this? Needs power. Okay. Move the power generator over so it's in the middle, and that way it should hit that now. Beautiful. buy you a vendor too. Okay, I'll hire someone to run it. Jeepers creepers. And unpause, and oh, he's walking away. I hate him. I hate him so much. He's so hateable. Alright, let's go ahead and get these signs hanged until he decides that he doesn't need to start his shift with a break. That's what I get for hiring teenagers. Alright, let's go ahead and... I kind of want them there, but now that I'm seeing it, I don't think I like them over the glass. Oh, I always put these upside down. There we go. I don't think I like it over the glass. So what I'm going to do is just add a new posting. And then we're going to change that part of the fence to not part of the glass. And we just slide that to there. Perfect. And put in an education thing here. For now, we'll just crank it up as far as it can go so we can get as much education as possible. What's the problem? Our baby ostriches are scared. I feel like they just need to move to another part of the exhibit if that's the case. They're feeling a little too exposed. Let me unpause the game. I think they're heading that way anyway. Oh, I've got so many pigs and piglets now. Yeah, I've got a little bit of time. Let's do some on-camera herding. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you like watching me like manage the zoo like I'm doing right now, where I'm trying to find unimportant breeding pairs to release them into the wild, or if you just want to watch the builds. If you just want to watch the builds, I have no problem cutting this stuff out in the future. But if you like to watch me go through and identify that these ones can be released into the wild because they're related to the alpha male, if that's something that you're interested in, just let me know in the comments below. Real quick, if you're wondering exactly what I was doing there, it told me that one of the warthogs was about to interbreed. So I went through and I released 2 female warthogs that were related to the alpha male. Because the alpha male is going to get all of the happy time, the woohoo, if you will. So, obviously, it would be better for us genetically to release the sexually mature females that are related to the alpha male, and then buy new warthogs to bring in more genetic diversity. Alright, throwing down those donation boxes, because I'm all about those Benjamins? I don't know, what, let's put a baobab tree. I want a baobab tree. I like baobab trees. It's interesting that they only do like leaved baobab trees, considering that they're usually empty. Alright, so aesthetically I'm just going to drop some rocks into the side of our hill here. They don't really do anything besides make me happy. This is kind of like a Bob Ross touch. It's just some happy little rocks down there on the side. In fact, let's go ahead and put in a hard shelter in this area. So if our wild dogs are running through that area, they have a place to go be happy. I'm going to go ahead and block off the back of that exhibit with these umbrella trees. And whatever those brown trees are, oh well. I'll look them up later. Hey, claim some rewards. That's nice. Release to the wild. Release 5 common warthogs. Okay, well, we're getting there. I'm not going to release them until it's time, but that's a nice, easy-to-do task. Hey, I came to my zoo. There I am. Hey. Hey. I guess I really should have named myself Tycooner Steve, but oh well. Oh well, and here, I don't know you. Go ahead and say hello so we can get the leaf dollars or whatever they're called. Okay. Just going ahead and taking a look at our exhibit, trying to get onto it, trying to get a look at it from the guest height. Yeah, we're going to have to block off that new zookeeper area we're building, but that's okay for now. It's not going to negatively impact our guest way over there. I feel like that's a fairly good viewing area. The sightlines I just checked, you can kind of see one viewing area from the other, and that's not something I'm super into. But okay, let's go ahead and put down food and water so that our wild dogs are tempted to move into this area. See, that's why I like painted dogs, because wild dogs just sounds like, you know, Fluffy got loose. Painted dogs, it sounds like a different species. Although, technically, not a different species, because they can interbreed, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% about that. I think it's like dogs and wolves, where there actually are the same species, because they can interbreed, but they have a subspecies that separates them. And then, of course, dogs get separated into a bunch of different breeds, too. Okay. Let's go ahead and connect this path up so our employees can get where they need to go. Yeah, that's more than enough distance, so it shouldn't interfere with our guests. And we'll go ahead and disguise it so they can't quite see it. We'll build up that... yeah, this video is going along, so later on, or maybe even off camera, I'll build up that area so it looks more like the buildings we've put in. Let's go ahead and drop a water purifier while I'm thinking about it, because there is water inside that that painted dog exhibit we just put down. Click! And now the water's green. Water's green, the trap's clean. Everything should be happy at this point. And I think we are. I think we're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, there's no way any of the guests walking on the path are going to be interfering with that. So perfect. You can just tuck this into the corner, and that should be enough for whatever exhibit we put down that next pathway. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get to decorating. I haven't really put down much plant life here. And I know that they're kind of a savanna. I think they're grassland. African foliage type. Do they have like bushes? Of course not. Oh, I don't think bushes have... Nope, they do. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and take... Wow, there is not a lot. I guess for the grassland, really what they want you to do is just use the high grass. I do kind of like these breeds. Go ahead and use them to at least disguise the corners. Maybe do a little work around where we put those rocks. It seems like a bit much, though. Try that. Yeah, I'm okay kind of putting it in the back area here where the guests aren't staring directly at them. And let's put some reeds in this water area. Again, I don't think the guests are going to see that water area a lot because I've put it on the other side of the hill. Although they might be able to see it. They might be able to see them splashing around, but that's not really for them. It's really more for our painted dogs. Yeah, just throw a few rocks. No, put a few rocks here and there. Just wherever makes you happy. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Dirt that up a little bit. Yes. Just kind of make it look like this path has been trodden a lot. Therefore, the plants and the grass have been shoved down a little bit. Is that still not open? Ah, it's still not open. Wasting money. I have to take a look at that boy. See why he's not vending. That's what vendors do, they vend. Okay, yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Yeah, our keepers are getting in so that the bar we put across is not a problem for them, as I hoped. People are definitely visiting the information stand. It looks okay from here. I'm just going to go ahead and walk that pathway now that we put in. Kind of look at it from all angles and see what's going on. Make sure everyone's happy. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I think... Why are those people sitting there staring? They're not looking at the giraffe statues, right? They're looking at the... Oh, I bet you what's going on is they actually can see the off-exhibit area. And so they're standing there and looking at the dogs. Okay, if that's the case, what we'll have to do is put, instead of using a chain link fence, I'll switch it over to a non-see-through fence, and then the guests will walk through there without that problem. If that's the case, that's how we fix it. Do not feed the animals. Yeah, that sign looks pretty good. We'd have to get rid of some tortoises pretty soon. And okay, let's go ahead and look. So this way, it still looks pretty good. Obviously, you would be looking more at the tortoises if you were right here, but you wouldn't be upset if you looked the other way. You would just kind of see a plain fence with some nice bushes. And you just continue to walk around it until we got to here. And once we got to here, we could look in. And I can see people walk, or I can see dogs running around in the background. none down there, I don't think. But yeah, you can definitely see them. So, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good view. If I went to a zoo and I got that kind of view of the painted dogs, I would be happy. Particularly if I went to this exhibit, or this area and got it. Let's go ahead and check the sort of south area. Which should be an even better view because they're a little closer. You know, that's pretty good. I think what I'm actually going to do, though, is move this baobab tree a little bit. And then put that food tray on top of the hill. And that way, you're still going to have the dogs sort of drawn to that area to eat, and you're going to get a good look at them, but you're not going to see the tray as well, so it's going to have a less artificial look to it. And sun setting again. I really need to learn how to turn that sun cycle on and off. But anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for today. Let me go ahead and show you before I quit the video. Oh, yeah, this fence is already being torn apart. I need to replace it anyway. Before I end the video, let me go ahead and show you the off-area exhibit that I talked about at the beginning. And you can see that we've got some nice... That's a nice exhibit. I think I'm pretty proud of that one. Yeah, there's nothing that I need to change directly unless I notice anything working, or not working, I should say. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to click the like button. And if you want to keep up to date on this zoo or any of the other zoos I'm going to be doing, or any other games I'm going to be doing, just click that notification button. Thank you for seeing them. Bye.